everybody, this is Gina and it's a good day for a walk. It is day 4 and it's breezy out here. It's getting kind of chilly, but it's not bad yet. We're still out here with no gloves, no scarf, no hat. Still have my little fall spring jacket on. So it's not bad. People are still walking their dogs, and the grass is still pretty green, and we still have leaves that are on the tree that's green. And so it's definitely a good day for a walk. So you can still get out here and get some vitamin D, get some fresh air. Yes. And it's not bad at all. See, people are still walking. All right, what are we going to talk about today? Let's talk about boundaries. Boundaries. And the area of boundaries that I was thinking about was what you allow people to do to you. Those kind of boundaries. There are so many different types of boundaries that we could talk about, but we need to create boundaries of what we allow people to do and say to us. And I know at my job, I work at a detox center, and sometimes when you're working with people, and like I used to work with kids and stuff like that, and there were certain boundaries that I used to set for myself. Like after a certain time, you cannot eat in the kitchen. Or after a certain time, you can't do this, that, and the other. At my job now, I don't give them let them get coffee or go inside before I come inside or anything of that sort. So I have certain boundaries. And sometimes people try to cross that boundaries. Even in my relationship with a significant other, you have to have boundaries. Like, you're not going to let them do X, Y, Z, or I'm going to definitely speak my mind, or I'm not going to let this go that far or this far. And so we have to create boundaries for ourselves so we don't let people do any and everything to us and think they're getting away with it. You have to have some type of self-worth, self-value, and have certain boundaries, because if you don't, it could go too far. I remember one of my managers was like, "Oh, give such and such some coffee out of the staff office. That's my girl." So I gave her the coffee out of the staff office. Now, every 3 hours, she wants some coffee. Or, give her an extra smoke break because that's my girl. And then now I have the burden of being worried all day long. And so very early in this particular business, I've learned to really treat my clients as if I was dealing with my grandchildren. Now, if it's something that I don't want to be doing a lot and I don't want to be aggravated about, I don't do it. So if I don't want you to keep aggravating me about smoke break, I say no every time. If I don't want you to keep aggravating me about coffee, I say no every time. Because with children, once you say yes, they're going to aggravate you. And if you say no this time and yes next time and no next time and yes next time, guess what? They're going to ask you, and they're going to ask you, and they're going to be happy when you say yes, but they're going to aggravate you until you say yes. So if they always get a no, if you always give them a no, guess what? They will stop asking. And so I noticed at my job, clients don't ask me for coffee out of the kitchen. Once they get to know me, they don't ask me for a smoke break. because they know the answer will always be no. What they will do is they will walk past me and go to the person that says yes sometime, that says yes sometime, and that says no sometime. And so if there's something that you particularly do not want to do, you need to set boundaries. Don't be afraid to say no. Don't be afraid to say no. Maybe that's what this should have been about. Not being afraid to say no. When you get this feeling inside of you, and yesterday we talked about following peace. That's another thing. When you don't have peace inside, don't be afraid to say no. Or when you feel like somebody's taking advantage of you, don't be afraid to say no. Or when you feel like someone's trying to manipulate you, don't be afraid to say no. When you feel like somebody is not being fair or not being considerate, don't be afraid to speak up and say something. Don't let people just treat you any way that they want to treat you. And I tell people all the time, like when you're dating and you kind of like somebody and you trying to put your best foot forward, I will always tell them when they're doing something and I let them get away with it, I always say, I'm letting you get away with this. Because I want them to know that I'm not dumb. I'm not simple. I'm letting you get away with this. But it might not always. If you continue to take my kindness for weakness, it's not going to last forever. And so right now, we're talking about creating boundaries. It's the same like with kids. You got to create boundaries with your kids. If you say something one time, or you say something twice, you say something 3 times, and you saying something 4 times, you saying something 5 times. My kids know if I ask you something twice, the 3rd time I'm counting to 5, and they know I'm counting to 5, but they know that I'm going to start wilding out at 3. They know I'm going to start wilding out at 3, and so they got accustomed to trying to. Now every once in a while, I might start wilding out at 1. You never really know because it's not really consistent, but they know to do whatever I need them to do by 5. And so right now we want to, encourage you to create boundaries for yourself. Don't let people just do whatever they want. You have to value yourself. People will treat you the way you allow them to treat you. Let me tell you, at my job, I was nice, laughing, joking, did the TV thing. Let them stay up to watch the rest of the TV, and one of the clients tried to get real funky. Like I said, whoa, what kind of medicine did they give you guys? And so people look at you and they see that you're friendly, and they try to take your friendliness. They try to take your friendliness for weakness. When somebody crosses boundaries, you don't smile, you don't giggle, you don't act like you don't hear them. You look them dead in their face. You look them dead in your face and said, listen, this is not what we're going to do. This is not what we're going to do. I'm treating you good. If you want me to continue to be good and extra with you, you're going to have to respect boundaries. Okay? And so we asking you to take today, go out for a walk. It's going to be cold soon. The winter is going to start getting real cold soon. So guys, you better take advantage of this good weather. Right, Sanai?
Yeah.
Yes. Look who's walking with Gina. She's hanging in there. All right, guys. Y'all have a great day, and it's a good day for a walk.